Moore and lawmakers discuss new updates to the state's budget.
This is what responsible governance looks like.
Plus, local and state leaders rally for immigrant protections in Maryland.
We are living in fear and uncertainty. And because of that status, I'm even having difficulties getting a job.
Plus,
with spring upon us, there's excitement blossoming all over the National Mall. I'm Noel James, and just ahead, I'll reveal the cherished tradition that's taking center stage once again.
Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
For March 20th, I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. Well, Governor Wes Moore and leaders in the General Assembly announced their final framework for a budget deal that they say will close a $3 billion budget gap, and it will do that with major cuts.
This is the largest amount that has been cut from a Maryland state budget in 16 years.
The state budget includes $2.3 billion in cuts and reductions. That's $500 million more than what Governor Moore originally proposed. But it wasn't clear still what would be cut.
It's a whole list of things.
Can you give us an example of one?
Vacancy reduction. An hour.
The announcement focused more on what would not change.
94% of Marylanders will either get a tax cut or see no change in their income taxes.
We are not increasing the Maryland sales tax rate on goods. We are not adding a fee for deliveries. We are not increasing property taxes. We are not raising money from iGaming. We are not increasing the estate tax. We are not making changes to the car trade-in allowance. We are not imposing any new taxes on sugary drinks or snacks. We are not raising the gas tax.
The framework does narrow down the business-to-business service tax the governor previously rejected. They agreed on a 3% tax on data and IT services.
Our plan reaches services offered by companies that will help you build your website, like Wix, and companies that help you to store information on the cloud, like Amazon Web Services.
We are not touching anything related to accounting, payroll, staffing, office support, employment services, consulting, design and printing, public relations and marketing, or financial services.
The governor says this tax brings Maryland in line with other states in the country. And tax increases will be hitting the most wealthy with the creation of a high-income tax bracket. Governor Moore introduced that as a contrast to actions at the federal level.
So the White House cuts taxes for the rich and burdens everyone else with high prices. Here in Maryland, we're showing there's another way.
And while the governor said this budget would turn the $3 billion deficit into a surplus, he couldn't say what that amount was.
Well, we're still working through the final numbers.
And Senate and House Republicans weren't happy with the lack of specifics.
They couldn't even answer one question. Name one tax that you're going to cut. Name one cut. Couldn't answer it. We heard Trump, 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 and we're raising your taxes $1 billion. That was the net result of this press conference.
What wasn't mentioned today was cuts to the blueprint, which lawmakers said would be in a different bill. More details on the budget are set to release later today, while others will have to be worked out in the last 2 weeks of the session. And meantime, in Annapolis, a rally and lobbying effort was held with one goal in mind: to raise awareness about the harmful impact of President Donald Trump's policies on Black immigrants. Our Michaela Newton has more.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now.
We are living in fear and uncertainty. And because of that status, I'm even having difficulties getting a job. I can't, because now people are like, if we give him a job very soon, his status will come to an end. So it's making it very, very difficult for us.
Today, CASA members, local and state legislators, and Black immigrant community organizations came together for a powerful rally and lobbying effort in front of the state's capitol.
The first one is the Protecting Sensitive Locations Act, which is going to create guidance and policy limiting ICE access into what we call sensitive locations like schools, courthouses, hospitals. Outside of that, we're also working on the Maryland Data Privacy Act to make sure that ICE is not digging into state agency data. And then finally, we are working on a bill called the Values Act. This is a very, very important bill that ends 287G agreements. These are agreements that allow local police officers to become ICE agents.
State and local lawmakers also showed their support.
Will we fight back? We gotta fight. Fear-mongering won't work. And the fear-mongering that this administration tried to put on our communities, they're going to fail.
The rally was not only a call for action, but also a reminder that the fight for immigration rights is ongoing. Activists believe it's time for policymakers to reckon with the long-standing effects of the current administration's policies.
Black immigrants are often excluded from the conversation about immigration. And we want to make sure, because we are impacted the most in many cases, that our voices are front and center.
For CTV News, I'm Michaela Newton.
Thanks, Michaela. And the Department of Education will soon be no more, with President Trump signing an executive order to dismantle it. Today, Trump handed down the order to Education Secretary Linda McMahon to do whatever it takes to close the department and hand the power back to the states. The department oversees billions of dollars in funding for low-income schools and students, and more than $1 trillion in student loans. Trump has called the DOE wasteful and has already slashed its workforce in half. And Democrats in Congress are calling the order illegal, and it will likely be challenged in court. And a big win for grad workers at the University of Maryland as student leaders take a stand. The Student Government Association overturned a presidential veto formally backing graduate students' workers' right to unionize. The 15-4 vote reverses the SGA president's decision after the legislature initially passed the measure earlier this month. Supporters say undergrad success relies on grad workers' conditions, with more than 60% signing union authorization cards. And in a statement to CTV News, the university says it remains committed to graduate students. And welcome to the first day of spring, and to kick off this year's Cherry Blossom Festival, CTV's Noelle James is at the Tidal Basin with a sneak peek of preparations.
All along the Tidal Basin, thousands of Yoshino cherry trees are dressing up their finest blooms for this year's National Cherry Blossom Festival. And with over 1 million visitors expected, the National Park Service is making sure that this spectacular show is ready for its audience. The blooming of these iconic trees have been a sign that warmer days are coming. And marking their 113th anniversary, this year is no different. Each year, year-round, the Park Service prunes dead branches, mulches using those same branches, now wood chips, and maintains the trees, ensuring a healthy generational blossom. An additional 100 trees are also planted yearly, keeping the soil nourished. Matthew Morrison, urban forester for the National Mall and Memorial Parks, calls this work sacred.
Being part of the force that maintains these trees, it's a terrific spirit. You can't help but get pulled into it. If you were to come and work with us for a week pruning trees, the first day it might be completely foreign to you, and your last hours of your last day here, you may feel a real spiritual connection to what you're doing.
Julie Moore, Vice President of Communications at the Trust for the National Mall, calls this the Super Bowl of Washington.
Welcome people to go to bloomcam.org. It's a special website where you can make a gift and adopt a cherry tree. You can adopt a cherry tree for $1,000, but you can also adopt a bud, blossom, or branch at a lower level.
If you're not able to watch the bloom in person, you still get a front row seat from the additional live streaming camera, the Monument Cam. It offers enhanced views of the trees. But if you do make it to the festival,
take only pictures, leave only footprints.
This year's peak bloom is expected between March 28th and March 31st, lasting about 10 days. Of course, that duration dependent on weather conditions. I'm Noelle James in Washington for CTV News.
Thanks, Noelle. And again, to support the trees, visit bloomcam.org. Wow, I think I might adopt a cherry tree of my own. While you're watching CTV News, I'm Mariah Jalad. Coming up, a local nonprofit is providing veterans with free entrepreneurial training. That story and more when we return.
Listen up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. but the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me? Yeah!
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back. Prince George's County saw 2 house fires on Wednesday, the first occurring in Greenbelt just before 9 a.m., where 7 residents were rescued from a balcony. 2 residents were transported to a local hospital. And the second fire occurred in Bowie shortly after noon. An outdoor blaze extended to a nearby 2-story family home in Bowie. Luckily, no injuries were reported from the incident. And Annapolis police are on the hunt for an Oxon Hill man who's charged with killing a man and injuring a child at a school bus stop Wednesday morning. The shooting happened at the 100 block of Clay Street shortly after 7:30 a.m. Police identified the suspect as 31-year-old Roscoe Jones. The victim was 36-year-old John Sims Jr. The 11-year-old child was taken to Johns Hopkins Pediatric Hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Jones is charged with murder and assault of a juvenile, and Annapolis police are working with U.S. Marshals to secure an arrest. And more than half of Maryland voters want state-paid family and medical leave, but they'll likely have to wait. Maryland officials have suggested pushing back the Family and Medical Leave Insurance, or FAMLY, program by another 18 months. That's while the state deals with the uncertainty of the budget and the federal administration. A recent poll says 55% of Marylanders want the family program to start in July as scheduled, and more than 80% support the program as a whole. And supporters say with the current federal cutbacks, the program is needed now more than ever. And every day, veterans face challenges readjusting to a civilian lifestyle. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, last month, the veteran unemployment rate was 4%. But for the past 15 years, one Army vet has done his part to help close the gap in veteran unemployment. CTV's Sierra Jackson has the story.
Typically, veterans don't give up. Once they start with something, they stick through it and they finish it.
A local nonprofit is providing veterans with free entrepreneurial training.
Back in 2010, when I started Project Opportunity, the unemployment rate in Maryland among veterans was hovering somewhere between 14 to 18%. And at that time, it was pretty evident that traditional employment was not a good option for a lot of veterans. So we looked at alternatives to traditional employment and came up with self-employment as a good viable option.
Now, Project Opportunity is in its 15th year and still inspiring veterans today.
We have a marketing and research analysis expert come in. We have a commercial insurance agent come in. We have a lawyer come in to talk about the different business entities. We have a website designer come in to talk about the do's and don'ts of setting up a website. We have a salesperson come in to talk about sales and networking, because most people don't understand the concept of sales and networking. Then I think the biggest thing On the financial side, we have a banker come in and talk about credit for small businesses.
I caught up with 2 class attendees who had business ideas before signing up for Project Opportunity, but weren't sure how to properly execute them.
What I'm hoping to gain from the class, I need to learn how to write a business proposal and a business plan. I'm already have my my business idea in motion already, so I just need to put the final touches on it.
In the back of my head, I was thinking about getting into a business, but of course I knew nothing about it. So when I saw this information about Project Opportunity and the way they presented it, I said, sure, let me take this class. This may be what I need to get me up off of thinking about a business and actually getting started into a business.
Army veteran and course facilitator Tiffany Davis says if you can make it through boot camp, you have what it takes to start a business.
I know what they've went through going through the military, and I know that they have what it takes to be able to do a business, right? Because being a part of the military, going through boot camp, dealing with other people, teamwork, budgeting, you have massive budgets that you're looking at no matter what department that you're in. It's all the skills needed to run a business. You just have to cultivate them.
Sierra Jackson, CTV News.
Thanks, Sierra. And for more information on Project Opportunity or how to get involved this spring, visit project-opportunity.com. Well, could Maryland roadways be losing drivers thousands of dollars? According to a recent survey, traffic and deteriorating infrastructure is costing Marylanders almost $3,500 a year per driver. 2/3 of that total comes from fuel wasted during traffic delays. Drivers in Washington, D.C.'s Maryland suburbs are spending the most in the state when compared to Metro Baltimore and Frederick Hagerstown commuters. And still to come on CTV News, if you have a baby or 2 at home, listen up.
A big consignment sale makes its way back to Prince George's. I'm Katara Jones. I'll tell you all about it coming up on CTV News.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
With macular degeneration, you lose your central vision.
You have a blind spot right in the center of your face, so I can't actually see your face.
So even that little circle in which I could see became a big blur.
I was 65 when I first was diagnosed with glaucoma.
There were no symptoms. I had no headaches.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
You lose mobility, independence, changes your entire life.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
My husband tells me that I have beautiful brown eyes, and I don't want to lose that.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
Diversity is in our nature. It is in nature, too. Biodiversity. It connects us and sustains us. But nature's biodiversity is at risk more than ever before, and the future of all life is in our hands. So what will you do? Love it or lose it?
It is so hot out today, but I'm about to get this hike in, and I just had to show you the view. Beautiful.
Yo, you should come out here. We came outside to unwind.
Oh, wow.
What's the laptop? Transmission.
We outside, come find us.
Families made their way to a popular consignment sale in the county where they can get everything for their child at low prices. CTV's Katara Jones takes us inside We Sale as attendees are busy shopping.
Family is looking to save big on kids' items like this baby onesies here, or even these kids' toys on this table are coming to the popular We Sale in Landover.
I come to this We Sale every year.
Grab your shopping bags because We Sale is back here in Prince George's. The pop-up consignment sale allows more than 200 local families to sell their gently used children's clothes, toys, books, shoes, and seasonal items to other families.
We do have some families that want to make money on their items, but also we have a lot of families that just want to give their items away. So prices start off at $3 and they do go up from that, but a lot of the items in here are about 70% off of what you would pay retail.
Organizers say shopping at WeSale, which has been around since 2007, has a lot of benefits.
It's keeping you out of the big box store, but then it's also a great way to keep the items within the community and shop local.
Pat Browning traveled from Annapolis to shop at WeSale.
I have 2 grandchildren, and my sister has a newborn grandchild. And so I come here looking for deals.
WeSale open to the public today and will run until Saturday. Organizers say they are already seeing an increase in foot traffic.
We do this every 6 months, and we do it here in PG County and also in Anne Arundel County. And already this sale, we've seen a huge influx of shoppers. I really think that just as things move on and people learn about what we're doing, it's just beneficial to more and more people.
Organizers with the WeSale says it will be back here at the Kentland Community Center this September. Katara Jones, CTV News.
Thanks, Katara. And for more details on the popular consignment sale, visit we-sale.com. Well, bargain shoppers, listen up. Dollar General is set to close 100 stores nationwide during the first quarter of 2025, including underperforming stores in Maryland. The discount chain was founded 86 years ago as a family-owned business in Kentucky. As of now, it's unclear which locations could be impacted by the plan. Dollar General operates more than 175 stores in Maryland. And to kick off the start of spring, 2 ice cream franchises are offering some free sweet treats. Rita's Italian Ice is continuing their annual tradition and giving away a free 6-ounce Italian ice for the first day of spring. They're providing any of their available flavors, including their new Skittles flavor. And this year, Dairy Queen's Free Cone Day lands on the first day of spring, so customers can receive 1 free small vanilla cone at participating locations. Well, Nike is expected to share its fiscal third quarter earnings today, but it's looking a lot lower than usual. Experts are expecting the athletic apparel company to announce a little more than $11 billion in revenue, which shows an 11.5% decline. This is the lowest fall the company has had since 2020 during the pandemic. Analysts share foot traffic in Nike stores has dropped by 11%, and downloads of the Nike app are down 35%. And the Washington Commanders and Flag Star football are gearing up for their youth football camps taking place this spring and summer. Student athletes grades 2 through 9 will have the opportunity to participate in 40 camp days in 8 locations across D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. CTV News caught up with the Commanders and Flag Star football on their anticipation and expectations for camp kickoff on March 31st.
This is just kind of the beginning, right? This is where kids get involved no matter who you are, where you are, your circumstance. It's just an opportunity to get involved with the game, get involved with the Commanders, so you can go back to your school, back to your community, play in your local leagues, and play for your high school.
I really think this is the perfect kickoff to the Commander camps, whereas we're going to be in Northwest Field, we're going to be in the stadium, and we're going to be doing the same combine drills that the kids have been watching NFL hopefuls do all spring. So we're going to get in, break the kids down into groups, and put them through these same drills that these NFL prospects are doing. And then at the same time, doing it in Northwest Field, having Fred Smoot, Commander legend, come in, talk about his experience in the pros and his experience preparing for the pros.
And make sure you stay with CTV News as we bring you coverage from the first day of the Commanders Youth Flag football camps later this month. And now Simon Buggs is here with a preview of what's coming up in sports.
Hey there, sports fans, stay right there because coming right up, Terps guard Cheyenne Sellers adds another accolade to her already stacked resume. That story and more coming up on CTV Sports.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD. Many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why can't I just pay attention?
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers, to help them make sense of it all. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do.
All right, everyone, it's time for today's sports page. Now, the Washington Commanders have made a bunch of moves to try and build off of a stellar 2024 season where they made a surprising run to the NFC Championship game. And one way the team continued to improve the roster is re-signing some players that were on that 2024 team. One player that will be returning to the team in 2025 is cornerback Noah Igbenogany. Last season for the Burgundy and Gold, the Auburn product appeared in 17 games, making 10 starts. He also recorded 55 tackles and defended 7 passes. And the former first-round pick touched on where he thinks he improved the most last season and what he's working on to become even better in 2025.
I'll say last year was the consistency of play. I felt like my main coverage was really well. I got better at that last year. I was playing a new position, so of course there was more zone, techniques I needed to learn and stuff like that. So I got better with that as the year went on. Just continues to get better, my run support and stuff like that as a nickel defender. And yeah, man. So I look forward to what that looks like moving forward, and continue to get better with all those things, and whatever this team wants me to do. So getting the ball on my hand, getting the hands on the ball for me as well, and forcing turnovers, stuff like that. That's something I want to get better at, this year, and I will.
Looking forward to seeing what you do on the field this season, Noah. Meantime, Lady Terps guard Cheyenne Sellers has been one of her team's best players this season, helping them finish the regular season at 23-7 and book a trip to the March Madness tournament. And her great play was recognized as the Ohio native earned All-American Honorable Mention honors from the Associated Press. For the team this season, Sellers is averaging 14 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists while shooting a career-high 44% from beyond the arc. She was also named to the All-Big Ten First Team earlier this month as well, which is her 3rd straight season doing so. You can catch Sellers and the rest of the team in action next against Norfolk State in the NCAA tournament on Saturday at 4 o'clock. And sticking with Terps Hoops news, the men's basketball team will be in the Pacific Northwest tomorrow, taking the court against Grand Canyon University in the opening round of the March Madness tournament. And a player that is looking forward to playing in the big game is transfer guard Selton Miguel. Miguel came to College Park for the chance to compete in the NCAA tournament, and the Angola native spoke on having that opportunity.
For my last year, I wanted to be in the dance. That's why I chose Maryland. It's the culture. And I knew since the summer we would make this far. I knew, because I saw the talent on the team, and the way we got together. Because most of the times, off the court, it matters too. Being together off the court. So we did pretty well in that part, and we're just gonna take day by day and then live in the moment.
Tip-off is at 4:35. I can't wait. And finally, the Washington Wizards fell to the Utah Jazz last night, 128-112. They will take the court next against Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And that wraps up your Thursday sports page. Simon Bucks, CTV Sports.
All right, thanks, Simon. Now let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight we'll have some showers before 11 p.m. Tomorrow it's going to be sunny with a high of 56 to kick off the weekend. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 65. Sunday will be mostly sunny with a high of 55 and low of 44 with some rain overnight. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.